hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. In this video, I wanted to do a random thing where I kind of talk a little bit about my move to Mexico and some of the differences I've noticed in the way people live in Mexico versus Canada versus, the other places I've been in. Some of the things that I'm noticing that are kind of weird to me, and I'm looking at it thinking, whoa, why do they do this way? So the reason I moved to Mexico is because I'm a digital nomad, which is basically I work on the computer, so I don't actually need to be in a particular location. So I can be anywhere in the world as long as I have a good internet connection. Which brings me to my first point, is that people don't really seem to care that much about a good internet connection in Sayulita, at least, the place I'm in right now. Now, I have a pretty good internet connection because I begged and begged the person, my landlord, before I came and saying, I need to do online work, it's my livelihood, please make sure I have a good internet connection. Not only that, but my sister works online as well. She's gotten permission from her work to work online, so she's working online, I'm working online, we need a good internet connection. But I've noticed that it's not something that's very important to people here because I'm guessing a lot of them don't work online. If they do, it's not something that they need a constant connection for. Whereas for me, I need to be constantly connected to the internet because I'm almost for, I would say, 10 to 12 hours a day, I'm consistently working online, doing something on the computer. And so that was kind of something interesting to me because I assumed that most people in the world, or all people in the world, or everyone in the world kind of cares about and wants a really great internet connection and pays for it and lives for it. But apparently I'm not. Maybe I'm a minority, or maybe it's just this place that I'm living in. It's more of a hippie beach town, like a surfer town, where a lot of people come here to surf and to relax and to enjoy. A lot of Americans seem to come here as tourists to surf and to learn how to surf. So maybe they're not really interested in having an internet connection. Also, I'm guessing it's because it is December right now where I'm doing this video, and I moved here in middle of December. So I'm guessing a lot of people are not in the working mood. They're not thinking about work. They're thinking, okay, the Christmas is almost here, and I've been dealing with this COVID thing for so long. So let me just focus on just relaxing and not focusing on work and things like that. So maybe that's one of it. The other thing I noticed is that they have no real water delivery service, which is a weird thing to me. I know you're probably thinking, what water delivery service? But every country that I've been in Asia has some sort of water delivery service where they have these big balls of water that they deliver. It's called garrafon here, but you have to go to the store and grab it and then bring it back to your apartment. They don't deliver to your house. I don't know if I'm just missing something, or I don't know what I'm doing, but I have to actually go to the store, carry a 20-liter bottle of water back to my house. It seems like a ridiculous thing. But I'm still researching that. So that was really surprising to me because I've been searching online. I'm like, water delivery service, water delivery. If you search for that in Thailand, it's so easy to find. There's 3 or 4 different companies that do that. They'll deliver the water to your house, easy peasy, right? And they pick it up and they deliver weekly or however you want it, and you get fresh water coming to you every day, or every week, or every other day. And I drink a lot of water, so I need this water. It's important. It's a part and parcel of my life. The next thing I do notice is that there's not as many people here as I expected, which is not surprising, I would say. But there's also a lot more people than I expected too, because on the weekend what happens is that a lot of people come in from, I think, locals, like native people, like the Mexicans from other cities will come in just to enjoy the beach. And so on the weekends it gets really busy, and then on the weekdays it's just really literally just white people everywhere. It's just Caucasians everywhere. And so I'm guessing it's all basically Americans and Canadians that are roaming around and doing their thing. And because of COVID, it's not as busy as it is, but it's also pretty busy considering there is a pandemic going on, right? And so even on the plane, my sister and I were really surprised to notice that there's lots and lots of older people, like people who were in wheelchairs, people who were like white-haired senior people who if I was in a situation like this in the pandemic, I would actually not be traveling during this time if I was older and vulnerable to the COVID virus. But apparently they don't care, and so there were the full plane, almost the whole plane was filled with older people. There was very few young people like me and my sister, younger people, and most of them were coming here for a long time. Obviously, like they're like sunbirds, so they kind of live here during the winter time and go back to Canada during the summertime. But a lot of them were just coming here because of COVID. They got some time off because they didn't have any work anymore, or their work gave them time off, and they're like, all right, let me go for 4 or 5 weeks to Mexico and relax there, and then come back to Canada after. So it's really surprising to me that there are that many older people, considering that they're more vulnerable to the virus, and it's a little bit more dangerous for them to travel than for us. And so that was fascinating to me. I'm still pondering on that. I'm just wondering, why did they decide to travel at this time? Although I'm sure you, looking at me, saying, you would be saying the same thing. Why did you decide to travel right now? Isn't it dangerous to travel right now? What are you doing? I get it, but it was just getting to be way too cold in Canada, and I was like, I need to get out of here. And I did take as many precautions as I could, so hopefully everything works out perfectly. The other thing that I do notice is that they obviously eat a lot of meat here, which is obviously one of the things about Mexico. They have really good meat, really good beef, really good pork, but particularly really good beef, and obviously all the tacos that I see everywhere, the carnitas tacos, which is basically meat tacos, are just, they look delicious. And not that I eat meat anymore, but they look delicious. But there's just a lot of meat taco places everywhere, and not that many vegetables at all. Like, there are vegetables in the stores, and I'm guessing Mexicans, I don't know if they cook a lot or if they go out to eat a lot. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't figured that one out. But I do notice that every taco place that I pass by is filled with locals, like Mexicans, eating oodles and oodles of tacos, enjoying themselves immensely. And so it really makes me wonder, do they eat at home more often, or do they cook at home, or do they actually go out to eat more often? Because in Thailand, there's a culture of eating out. Very few people cook at home. Mostly everyone just goes out to eat because the food is so cheap and delicious and healthy. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of cooking at home because it's easier for me to make vegetarian food that I like at home, and spicy as well. But I do notice that there's a lot of people going out to eat. And one of the final things that I do notice is that even though the weather is pretty warm, it's actually pretty chilly at night and chilly in the mornings. So I'm guessing that's the reason why this is like high season or peak season in Sayulita, because as you can imagine, a lot of Americans and Canadians cannot stand really, really, really high heat and humidity, because it is very humid here as well because of the ocean. And so this kind of coolish weather is perfect for them, and that's why the prices right now for the apartments and everything were extremely exorbitant. Like, they were high. I would be paying the same amount of money for an apartment, a tiny apartment here, as I would pay for a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment downtown Toronto, which is a huge, huge amount. And so I was surprised to see that this is peak season, but then when I came in and I saw the weather, I understood that I can understand why so many Americans or Canadians would want to come and live here or work here during this time, because it's just beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And it's actually December 12th. It was December 12th, a couple of days ago, and it's a festival that was going on. So there are these like fireworks that go off every few minutes, and they are loud, like booming fireworks. Freaks me out every single time. And I always imagine it always sounds like a gunshot firing, and every single time my sister's like, oh my god, it's the cartel. Of course, joking. But really interesting that we kind of landed in a spot in Sayulita, in Mexico, exactly when there's a festival going on and people are like blowing up all these fireworks and singing on the streets and having lots of fun. So it's really interesting how the world, you don't realize that I had no idea this festival even existed, and I got to experience it, so I'm really grateful for that. So these are the few things that I've noticed. I'm sure I'll keep on sharing more things with you as time goes on. But let me know what you want to know, and I'll do a video on that. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about Mexico and living in Mexico, I'd love to do more videos on that. Send me your questions. Again, thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate your support, and I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.